You are a person with big dreams, so you do what any person with big dreams, ambitions, and goals would do. You get up every morning and practice your skill. You read a book, go for an interview, or take an online course. You do what you should do. You are committed. You are disciplined. You are very hardworking. You put in all the efforts that has to be done with what would typically help you achieve your goals. You do all these, yet you fail. You don't get the job, you don't get the scholarship, and you don't understand why. It's not even the first time. All that is in your head is, what is keeping me from reaching my goal? I put everything I have into these plans. Am I going to fail all my life? You start falling into depression because all of these experiences, but you really don't get it. The first thing you should know is that you are supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to fall sometimes. You are supposed to fail. Failure is a stepping stone to success. I know you've heard that many times. And of course, it has become a cliche, but it is still valid. It is true. Failure is a stepping stone to success. Failure is an experience that makes you stronger. It teaches you to wait. It teaches you patience. Failure gives you wisdom. You have room to learn consistency. You learn how to be determined. You become very intentional about your dreams. You learn how to stay committed to your dreams. Failing opens your eyes to see what you can do better. So fail hard. Failure might look like something that will draw you back, but no. Failure will push you to greatness. It'll wake you up and push you to see and do things differently. You failed because that was not your method, so try another one. Failure exercises your character each day, and each time you try, just keep trying. Do not be afraid to fail hard. The journey to success is not smooth. It is riddled with failure, and that is not easy. You have to live life trying. When you fall, get up. Try again. Do this until you see the manifestation of your dreams. If you have never failed, then you are not alive. You're not human, because failure is part of life we live. Do not be ashamed of failing. You're not less because you fail. You're not useless because you fail. You are not a failure because you fail. You do not stop because you failed one time. Failure should not stop you. You too do not stop at one failure. Look at your goal and be encouraged to keep moving. Do not stop until you achieve your dreams. Do not stop until you begin to see 4 dreams come alive. Your failure is part of success. Do not stay sad when you fail. Always continue. Keep it moving. Learn why you failed and move on. Fail hard so you will be stronger. Failing should not be the end of your story. It should be the start of your comeback story. Great people never stopped at failure. That's why they are great now. No one likes to fail, but it happens. Let it motivate you. Let it drive you to drive more. You are a winner. Winners decide what failure means to them. See failure for another lens. Fall hard and fail hard, but do not let failure stop you. Let it push you to grow. The only way for you to stop failing is to die. As long as you are on this earth, you will fail and make so many mistakes. The moments must not define you. Do not be ashamed when you fall. Do not be afraid when you fail. Everybody goes through failure. Even the greatest people have failed countless times. Do not stop at failure. Fail hard and let it be your stepping stool. Decide that you will be better next time. Failure is nothing but a powerful lesson to a winner. You declare to yourself, I will be far better next time. The only way failure becomes the end of it is if you quit. Keep going because it's only a hurdle. You will overcome it. Don't quit. Keep going. Keep pushing. You will get to where you want at the end. Let the failure push you to a higher level. You don't fail because you failed, but you failed because you failed to try to fail. Failure is actually telling you that you tried and it didn't get right, and that means that you could try again. So failure in itself is a flip side of what success would eventually become. Do not be afraid to not listen to those that have failed because they told you so. You know why? Because they have chosen to remain failures. Yours should be the ability to have a bounce back mechanism inside of you, because failure has inside of it as a default a bounce back mechanism for every individual that chooses to return. As we see it in a boxing ring, it doesn't always come as a knockout. Most of these people that lose have to go back trying. They got all the punches. They've been punched over and over again, but they come back because they try harder and harder. Even when it is declared that they failed, the truth of it is that they go back and replan, go through the lessons, and applying it, they come back to defend or to fight again and again. You see, every day that enemy that supposedly thinks he is your own champion can turn out to be the defeated foe if you understand that your failure of the past was just an example for you to choose to win again. Learn to accept failure by going hard when you fail and rising up again. Applying the words and the lessons that come out of it are a great advantage for those that return bigger, stronger, and better. So what are you doing right now? Learn all the lessons from failure. Apply these lessons and come out better and stronger. Do not be like people who quit when they are so close to success. They got so close to seeing their dreams, but they let go. Do not be that person. Fail hard. Use the failure as a field. God set you apart from the moment He created you. He made you be a beacon of light in this dark world. Have you realized that you walk in a place and people see you are not ordinary? You give hope to everyone. You have the mark of God on your head. God called you to live a life different from the world, because you are not to blend in among the thorns, but to stand out differently than the rest of the world. You, as one created by God, have been called to be set apart and be holy as God is holy. You don't gain approval from the world. You do not follow trends, because you are the trendsetter. You are the leader. You have a divine purpose. You have been set apart to show the love of God. So you stand out and live in a way that glorifies God. You are a core member of God's family. He has chosen you to do His work here on earth. Through God, you are given an intended purpose to fulfill God's will for His kingdom. It's not easy. You have to work hard and persevere. As you face storms, Know that you have been called out from many into fellowship with God. He is ready and willing to reveal His purpose to you. Instead of conforming to the world, you are called to submit to the rules of the one who made you. Your conduct and behavior should be a reflection of your divine calling. The Spirit of God works within you, changing your heart so that you live like you are indeed marked different than those that remain in the world. In all this, you must have the courage to stand out. The choices you make are a reflection of your faith in God. Your action determines if you truly understand that you are marked. God will help you to stand out of your comfort zone. It will help you see the greater purpose He has called you to. God has His hand on you for a particular purpose. He'll use other people, dreams, visions, and that still small voice to get you on track. To be marked by God for a particular purpose, He guides our lives differently than you might have had you not submitted to His call. Because He has set you apart, you are already walking into your destiny, walking on your different path. You will feel a pull away from people and things that distract you. But that's progress. Even though we may feel as if we are putting on a shelf and forgotten, we have been set apart for the call of God in our lives. It is during these times that we will find ourselves spending quality time with God as He molds and makes us into His image. He will build character in us so that when it is time to go on to the front lines, He knows we will be ready. He can trust us with what He appointed us for us to do. As it is said, come out from among them and be ye separate. God has chosen you to work for Him. And you need to be set apart, determined to do the work for the King. He has anointed you and equipped you to be used for the advancement of His kingdom. You are made to be holy, consecrated to Him. You are given a unique role in life to serve Him. You are a stranger to this world system. Instead of thinking and acting like the world, you are set apart from this more common way of viewing and living life and are given a different purpose. You could say that we are separated from worldliness and given a new purpose to be used by God. If you are set apart to do the work of the Lord, then you will not have time to get into trouble, especially if you place your heart on pleasing Him. You see, setting apart would mean forgetting sometimes the most things that you think you love. Sometimes it has to be leaving even your beloved family. Sometimes setting apart is getting out of that thing that you thought was formerly your course to follow. But then you will know deep down in your heart that setting apart is always the right way, even when those things seem to pull you back. You must realize that being set apart means a moment of contradiction with other people's belief. You will contend with those that thought you are going wrong, and some would actually come out and tell you to your face that you're missing the part. But if you know and you confirm that you know that which you have been pulled to has to do with your destiny, you will endure the scorning, the jeering, and of course the outright condemnation by those you so much love. Being set apart does not mean being loved by everybody. You know the story of Joseph, where the moment he dreamt a dream and had to explain that he had that dream that made him set apart, he began from that day to become an enemy, not only to him, and of course even to his family members. And even when he got to the land of Egypt, consistently being set apart can mean that trouble upon trouble will come your way. You see, it's always a trying period. It can be a lonely moment. It can always be that time that it looks as if when you speak, heaven is brass and the ground would not sprout out and give you its own yielding. Just know that most of these times, the mighty one that has called you to that setting apart knows exactly what he is doing, because you are developing that thick skin of being alone in order for you to be for all. Being set apart is not always forever, but it is for the purpose of the betterment and the goodness of the overall. Know this fact and know it for a truth, that you're being set apart. It's always going to be for nations. Hardly would one be set apart for himself and to himself alone, because you are always supposed to be a separate one. You see, I always want to compare being set apart with the way the plant or the palm tree grows. When the seed is planted, it doesn't come out in one day. Neither does it come out in 1 week or 1 month or 1 year or 2 years. It takes years, because it first up goes downwards, dies, and goes to the root before it springs up. But then when it begins to grow, every part of it becomes so important to humanity. Look at the palm tree. There is never a part of it that is ever useless. So it is with those that are being set apart, and that it is it with you. You are set apart first to die, and then you come out a new you to become useful in every ramification, that when you speak, your word becomes important. When you reflex, any of the action would be interpreted to the benefit of the world. Those that are set apart are never many. They are always few from the majority. See yourself as such and stay within the purview of that which you are called. How well do you know yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you rate yourself? Do you pay attention to your emotions? Do you cry and immediately know why you are upset? Are you in control of your anger, or do you throw temper tantrums every time? Do you pay attention to your health? Do you love the way you look? Do you pay attention to your physical appearance? How well have you mastered yourself? Can you give answers to all these questions? Are you conscious of the food you eat and the clothes you wear? Do you deliberately exercise? Are you satisfied? Or are you happy with your job or career? Do you even know yourself enough to tell? Are you self-aware? What kind of impact does your relationship have on your life? Is it nourishing? Are you in a toxic relationship? Do the people you love drain you or build you up? Questions. I need to ask you more. How you feel about yourself when you are alone is the ultimate test. So you have to be honest with yourself. You must be real with yourself. Are you proud of the life you're living? Does the person you have make you genuinely happy? Are you in control? Or do external forces like relationships, status, and money toss you around? Are you aware of your responses to people? Are you in control of your emotions? Do you own your feelings? Do you know who you are? What are you contributing to this earth? What are you giving? Will you live without a trace that you were here? You see, we all can't help getting old, but we don't have to get old before our time. How do we preserve our lives and ourselves? How do we live intentionally? We do this by mastering ourselves. You become so aware of yourself that you do not live anyhow. It is so easy to master others, and there is strength in that, but you must master yourself. Self-mastery is the ability to control your desires. It is the ability to live in control of your impulses. It is self-discipline and self-control. To be the master of yourself is to fully understand who you are. It means to take responsibility for your life. Now, the first step is to become conscious of who you are. Be aware of who you truly are and what you like. You've got to take time to meditate on the things that get to you and ask yourself why it hurts you so much. Ask yourself why you are happy about something or some things. Pay attention to your clothes and take time to know your style. Why do you even like that style? Pay attention to your thoughts. They always take you into the future or the past. To master yourself is to be self-aware. To be aware is to be present. It means you live in the moment from the time you get up till you go to sleep. You know exactly what you're doing. You know why you do what you do. Mastering yourself is so powerful. It is the power you have within your control. You are the captain of the ship that is your life. Your life is in your hands. You can write your story when you have mastered yourself, and you do so by the choices you make. Everything in mastering yourself is a choice, and truly so. You have to understand that the choice you make creates the life you live. Be aware of the choices you have so you can choose intentionally. When you allow your ego to influence your choices, you won't live well. Do not live in pride. No, master yourself. Learn humility. Choose forgiveness every day. Choose kindness every day. Choose to live in truth and truth to yourself mostly. Master yourself through unending self-work. Commit yourself to get better. Read, learn, meditate, exercise, eat well, set goals, hunt for more goals. Take time to achieve the goals you set for yourself. While you're doing all these, study yourself. Pay attention to what motivates you. Learn interesting things about you. Do everything that makes you a better person. You will notice how strong, happy, and light you will feel. You will notice how focused you will be when you intentionally do things to improve yourself. Do these things every day. Don't stop. Do things that make you feel better about yourself. Do you know what will happen as you do these seemingly little things that help you get better every day? The results pile up on each other. They might not be noticeable at first, but if you are consistent, they begin to grow. You will begin to see how much you have changed for good. Then, other people will see it. Opportunities will arise, and because you have prepared yourself, you will take the opportunities and turn them into mighty testimonies. When you master yourself, you give yourself space to grow in capacity for more even. You see, when you master yourself, nobody, no situation, no one, not a human not animal, not social circle can take control of yourself. You know what to do. You know what not to do. Always tell yourself the best has not come. Live by this and enjoy your life.